Boom, boom, bam. In the words of Two Stands. Welcome back, everybody. Another Tuesday night chat with the Muskrat and Mr. Creole Catfishing. No, he doesn't have a boogie hanging out of his nose or anything crazy like that. He is on the road and it's dark.
Yep. I'm on the road. It's dark. I couldn't get my makeup to look quite right this evening, so I'm not going to allow y'all to see my face tonight. How about that?
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Get the makeup right. I was having a bad hair day.
Bad hair. I'm having a bad face day. How about that?
What is going on here? Bad face. Well, there's nothing I can do about that. I deal with that every day, so I'm not going to let you get away with much.
I know, right?
Do you have me playing on the?
Is it echoing real bad?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, it might be the deal. Okay, well, hang on. I'll disconnect from my truck. That should fix it. Okay, how about now? That better?
Okay. Well, while he is working on his audio, because I thought it was me, I was like, what in the world's going on here? Yes, sir. No, there's a big, long lag and a repeat in your audio.
Well, that's not good.
Hang on a second. Hang on, let me make sure it's not me. I think it was. I think it was me, actually. There was a window open I couldn't find.
Oh, okay. Is it a little better now?
It is better now. It wasn't you at all. It was me.
Oh, hang on. I'll hook it back to my truck then.
Okay. Well, while he is working on that, we're going to say hello to some folks that were hanging out here in chat waiting on us. See, Mike Sampson, subscriber of the year, is here at 1:26 in the morning, claiming his seat for number one. So welcome in, Sampy. If you're still here, he was here at 1 o'clock. He was here at 11 o'clock this morning, and hopefully he's here now. We got Mama Jammer. That's Jackie and the kids out here as well. Pontoon Jody's in the house. Nubby's Catfishing. Jersey River Rat is here. Hello, John Boy. Mr. Kelly Bullock's in the house. Got another weekly spotlight loaded up and ready for us to go. Ready to go this week. So appreciate that. 922 Crappie Barbecue, local guy here. I was chasing some crappie this last weekend and didn't have much luck. We caught some fish, but couldn't get very many keepers. But we did get to take the kids out on Sunday, first time they've been on a boat, and we had a boatload of fun. Pun intended. It was a good time. The weather is warming up. It's tonight's thumbnail. Kind of proud of this one, to be honest with you. My mom is a huge Elvis fan. We grew up listening to Elvis, watching all Elvis's movies. Mom's a big Elvis nut. And so she's had some crazy stuff going on here lately. She was as heavy on my heart when I went to make this one, and it just fit. It just fit tonight. So we got an Elvis thumbnail.
There ain't nothing wrong with a little Elvis. Nothing wrong at all.
No. Heck no. Let's get on down the line here. We got Benoit Fishing in the house. What's going on, Benoit? Thanks for being. Joshua Perham. I say it different every time.
Perham. I got correct. Perham. I got corrected on that one last time. So
Perham. All right. We got Brito, aka Lisa Swain, in the house. What's going on? Cold Creek Billy Catfishing. What's going on? Harold Bolton, channel member, tuning in and supporting us. Welcome in. David Smith, Wabash Nate, Stonefly 71. What's up, brother? We got Len Leeper, Catfish Fever and Outdoors. Welcome in. We got Fish On. Welcome. JG Hill Studio. What's going on, buddy? Mike Greenwell's in the house. Mikey putting another tank. I never did see a weight, Mikey. If you got the weight on that one, I was curious. I never saw the weight. That's a big fish. I don't care what it weighed. That's a big fish.
Had to be in the 50s, right? At least.
I was going higher than that, but
had to be.
Yeah, I was thinking bigger than that. My guesses were like 60, 70.
I know, right? That'd be even better.
That was a good fish. I I got a picture. I'll show you guys later. I got a buddy out on the river today, under the Ohio River. So
Nice.
What's that?
I said nice. That's one more that the Pay Lakers ain't got.
You are absolutely right. Kevin Walters is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. What's happening? Facebook user, I believe that was Michael King. Michael King is the coordinator for the River Rats Catfishing Club. And I was actually going to mention it later, but since how he's on my mind right now, their season opener's coming up March 23rd. That's going to be at 7 a.m. at Higginsport. So any of us local Ohio guys want to get behind a good tournament trail, Michael's been doing a lot of big things with that tournament trail. They just become affiliated with the King Cat Series. So some of his events will be qualifying events for the King Cat Series, and a lot more things, sponsors and things he's been doing with that club. So we're actually going to jump in this year and get in these events. I think we're planning on being at the very first one as well, and see how we do stacked up against some good guys in our area. And Waters, we don't fish. We have never fished. I don't even know where that is.
Oh, quite the challenge there, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what we want. We want to push ourselves. We want to become better, stronger anglers. So we're going to go up against some better, stronger anglers in completely new areas and try to compete by having to quickly break down, search, and try to be successful.
I like it.
I don't know if it's going to be success. I don't know if it's going to be successful or fruitful, but I guarantee we're going to learn something, and it's going to make us better. So.
As long as you go down swinging, it'll be all right.
That's it. Dale Hayslip's in the house. Harold Bolton is in the house. Another channel member. Thanks for the support. Matt, want to be outdoors. Buckeye Catfishing. What's going on, brother? Let me see. Creole looking like Brian B. What in the world?
I get that. I get that reference. Okay. Touche. Okay, you got me.
Hiding behind the icon?
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
It is a good-looking icon, at least.
True. David Smith's in the house. See, I was trying to get over my Facebook real quick and catch these guys tuned in on Facebook. That way, I'm not leaving anybody out. And Sue Woolley's over there. Brian with Big Cat Boards. Willie Matthews over there. What's going on, man? Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me get back into action here so we can get going. Dave Funk's in the house. What's up, buddy? He was able to get on some fish on Hoover this last weekend. Lance McCouguy is here as well. Dad's here. Everybody straighten up.
Look out.
Got to spend some good time with mom and dad this morning. Mom's, as you guys know, mom's been dealing with a lot of issues over this last year, and she's getting ready to face her biggest struggle, her biggest obstacle yet. So some thoughts and prayers could definitely go a long ways for her.
Absolutely, brother.
We got some tough news today, but we're going to get right on through it. We'll get right through it. She's tough. Buckman 22's in the house. What's up, brother? Paul Edmonston's here. I'm going too slow. Jerry Parker's in the house. Buckeye Catfishing. Eddie Gross. Yes, I got a sidetrack. Cutting up with Creech. What's going on?
Hey, that is the man, the myth, the legend right there. What's up, Creech?
Is that Michael Creech?
That is the one and only Michael Creech.
Is that the one and only Michael Creech in Indiana?
No, Michael Creech from Mississippi of River Cats Tackle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you. I got a Michael Creech here local that we're getting ready to put on the boat and do a trip with. So we got Glenn's Catfishing. Yep, that's it. Jeff Fishing with Jeff Beal is in the house as well. Holy moly, I'm never going to get to the bottom of this list. El Gato's in the house. That's a great problem to have. We've got 75 people tuned in already. We're 9 minutes into the show. I'm going to try to scroll down through here, make sure I'm getting everybody. Brandon, Catfish and Dreams, talked to him as well this week. Mom is in the house. She's here. She's ready. She kicked back and ready to go. I knew the Elvis thumbnail would get her. And there's Willie. He's double dipping. He's tuned in on Facebook as well, and now on YouTube for Catfish Code. What's up, brother? See what's going on. Sean T outdoor looks like I won't be fishing for a while. I'll start 7.5 weeks for the next 4 months. Oh my.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Kane Parker's tuned in from Facebook. Steve Mosley's in the house. Man, oh man, butterflies and sunshine. So I think I'm getting everybody. Crappie Day, fish on if I missed you. Kane Parker, thanks for the prayers and good luck for Mama. Backlash Fisherman's in the house. Greg Burgess. My cat's if you give me it. Kevin's talking to Mike there. So, all right. Did you say something? Someone else owns Tackle Place in Wheelersburg. Yes, AJ's Tackle was bought out. Jesse Jenkins is now running that. They haven't changed the name or anything on that, but they're still there. They're still open. I actually haven't made it down there to talk to them guys and, just kind of give an open invite if they ever want to talk fishing or come on the show. And maybe we ought to give them a chance to introduce themselves to the new owners down there for all of us local guys that like that bait shop down there. They carry a lot of great high quality fishing gear, and those guys are tournament anglers, so they know the gear that we like to use, the tournament grade stuff. So you're not talking to a bass bait shop that caters to bass fishermen and has a little corner tucked back in the backpack there. It's got a couple ugly sticks in it. These guys are carrying top of the line. Everything. Ancient Mariner, Mad Cats. That they got all the Catch the Fever. They got all the good stuff in there that everyone likes to get their hands on. So we need to make a round and get back with these guys.
Heck yeah.
Okay. I think if I missed you, I didn't mean to. I got to get going. We got to get this thing kicked off because do you have the scales also? Yeah, don't forget to pick up the Mad Cats hog scales. Wow, we got to try mine out this week. Dad we were talking in the show. My dad heard us talking about them, called me after the show and said, "Hey, I just ordered you the set of those scales. Come by the house and grab them." So appreciate that,
Yeah.
Dad. I'm all hooked up for the season coming. Outdoors with Ted Ellenbecker. First channel of the year hit the bank this afternoon. Water's still 38 degrees up here. Man, I can't. That's tough, buddy. But he's out there getting it done, and that's what we're talking about tonight. We're going to talk about the temperatures rising across the country. Not quite so much in Ted's area as I'm sure he would like, but for most of us, the temperatures have been climbing, and the water temperature is right behind. And that means things are about to pick up, right? Things are about to change. So some folks don't fish during the winter. Some folks don't care for it. Some folks don't even, think that fish really bite in the winter. It happens a lot. You show pictures of fish you catch in the winter. Like, I didn't know you could catch fish in the wintertime like that. But things are heating up, and things are about to change in a hurry as the water temperatures creep up. And at least for me personally, what I've seen and figured up on over the years is when we hit that like magical 50-degree mark, things really start to change. And it's between the 50 and 60-degree mark is when big things happen. As far as the level of activity, not only for the bait fish, but then the catfish as well. And, it's kind of a domino effect. So as the waters warm up, your bait fish become active, and they start thinking about spawning. And you wouldn't think that March and April they would think about spawning, but they do. Their bodies know what they need to do to be ready for spawning. FOA Customs and Gear, what's up, buddy? Thanks, Freddie, for stopping in. Zach Murray's in the house. What's up, brother? I seen Mikey say 50 degrees starts bumping. Cool Cat says 54 degrees here on Watts Bar. So that's one of the big things that changes, at least for us, and I think a lot of other people, is not only the fish activity is going to pick up, but your strategies are going to start to change. What you've been doing. So most of us have been on anchor, right? Most people aren't suspend drifting in the wintertime, bumping in the wintertime, dragging in the wintertime. Although you can, and you still can catch fish. Stan 3, what's up, brother? Thanks for stopping in. here's a question, or here's a comment that we're actually going to get to right here. Caesar Creek Lake was 46 degrees, but up in the creek, it was 54 degrees. And guess where the shad was? That's exactly right.
Yep, that's right.
That's exactly right. So, you've been wintertime for the most part. A lot of people have been fishing deep holes, fishing channel ledges and things. Although I'm a fan of shallow water fishing. There's still good sunny days that in the middle of winter, you can still find fish in super shallow water, trying to get some of that warmth off the sun. But right now, things are really going to change. The backs of your creeks are going to start getting really warm. Your shad are going to be going there. Your other fish are going to be going there. Your smaller fish are going to be looking for warmer places to spawn. So fish are going to be moving in and out of creeks. So what all that automatically becomes a hot spot, which is almost, I think, for the most part, creek mouths are good throughout the entire year, just in different phases. But I think that But I think that even more so now, as the temperatures start to rise, the backs of the creeks are starting to get much warmer than the main bodies of water. And the activity is going to be
because I know in our river right now, the one of the biggest changes that we see this time of year when that water temperature is picking up mid-50s or so is all the shad, all the bait fish want to start moving, and I find they start congregating in those big current seams a lot more. And especially now, the shad are now running up to the dams because we see our commercial fishermen, they're starting to want to dip and catch shad and everything. And the shad are just stacking up at the dams right now. And usually for us on the big river, that's one of the first indications that things are starting to change. The shad will start moving up, start stacking up real heavy. As of this moment, we're still catching fish in our winter locations, but I've noticed on sonar, the fish are starting to change the way they relate to those scour holes and those deep ledges. They're starting to move up into some more active forward positions rather than just be kind of down in the bottom of the hole, belly down, maybe suspended a foot up. So even they're still in the same locations for us, but they're changing how they relate to that same piece of structure. And that's giving us that clue that, okay, these fish are really starting to wake up. They're getting a little more active now. Things are changing and are on the move.
That's right. So Stan 3 is right on it here. So the metabolism starts speeding up, right? So this is nothing they can control. This is just how Mother Nature works. Their body starts kicking into high gear. They need to start building up fat and to start building up energy, because when they go into spawn, they exert a ton of energy, especially the males. The males use a lot more energy than the females, but the females do have to, pack on the feed bags in order to create healthy eggs so that they're strong enough to survive. So big baits. I start upsizing my baits this time of year. As it warms up, like I said, after that 50, 55 degrees, that's when right now we're still right around 46 degrees, I believe, 47 degrees. But the fish are active. We've got some stuff going on out there now. I got a buddy, like I said, it was out today, and see if I can get him pulled up here. I need to. He doesn't like cameras and stuff, so he's going to love the fact that I'm sharing this. I might even put him in for the bragging board this week, just to, and send it to him, just so he knows that. Oh my, that's super duper small. I gotta fix that. Hang on, let me change my layout. There we go.
There you go.
Right there's a 60-pounder cut out of the High River this afternoon. You guys can see the sun's shining, and there you go. But that's my buddy Herb Everhart. He's actually the guy who got me out of. I hate even saying this; it makes me sick. But he got me out of fishing pay lakes. He's took me to the river, and he said, "Man, if you just caught some fish out of the river, you would not want to do that pay lake stuff anymore." And he was right. He got me out on the river. He kind of showed me how to read a river. Honestly, he was the first person to teach me how to read the water, and that was it. I was hooked from there on out. We got into fishing the river, and that was it. But Yeah, I seen Zach post there talking about, and he, Jeremy mentioned it as well. Your bait and everything starts heading straight to the dam,
Yep.
and
Yep.
it's gonna be a feeding frenzy up at the dam. Uh, you know, Generally your fish, your catfish, they don't live at the dam, right? That's not a place to live. You hear stories about Volkswagen-sized catfish living at the dam; they never leave. But in all reality, I don't think that that's a sought-after place. There may be a few nooks and crannies that they can hang out most of the time if they want to, but for the most part, your dam is a place they go to eat, fill up, and then they back off and go back down river to wherever they want to be. Get warm, get shelter, whatever it is. Um, but hang on.
Yeah, I'll completely agree with that because I do a lot of dam fishing right here below our big hydro here, and I can't ever remember marking inactive fish at that dam because every dam's going to have those humps that they
Right.
hide behind. They are either in active positions behind the humps, ready to feed, or they're not there at all.
That's it. So, that's basically how we attack it. So we go up to our dam, we take a look. The fish are either really there or they're not. We don't really have to see many fish because they're moving around so much. We just if we get up there and we see there's some fish in the area, well, guess what? They're only there for one reason. They're there to eat, and so they're not there just hanging out visiting somebody. They're there to put some food in their belly, and that's when we come in. We start presenting food that they want to put in their belly, and we start try to hook up on some fish. We do our part anyway. But
right.
But even if the fish aren't at the dam yet or made it there, or you're not close to a dam, they're going to be traveling pretty heavily. And so they're going to be looking for places to spawn, looking for places to feed. And so what do we know about catfish? Where do they like to travel?
Ledges, baby.
Yeah, ledges. So, just because you're not close to a dam and you're not close to, one of these factors doesn't mean that you're out of the equation. You just got to change, your approach. So, finding you a ledge, or finding a pinch point, if you've got an area of water, obviously this is talking about rivers, lakes would be completely different. But if you got an area of water of your river that comes down and goes to a pinch point and widens back out, well, the fish are going to go through there, right?
Right.
But you find a narrow area, and you could present your bait in that area, depending on flow, whether you hang to the inside or outside or on the channel ledge or a flat. But you find that narrow area, you increase your odds of contacting a fish. Let's see. Oh, look at there. Chrissy Brown showing up, member for 17 months. Thank you so much for the support. That's
awesome.
That is fantastic.
Now, I know in our area, and this is typical of most of your bigger rivers. During the time of year that the water temperatures are rising, you've also got a couple other things happening all at the same time. It's springtime. You've got the rains that come. You've got rising and falling waters. The rivers tend to yo-yo a lot at this time. But if you're smart about it during this time of year, like Roger said earlier, the backs of these creeks usually have warmer water in them. What'll happen if you pay attention to your river stages? When your river's picking up, it's going to flood these back creeks. And, in our cases, it floods these little bayous and even pushes water out into the woods where the land is low. Well, if you can time it right, and naturally that water that pushes in there is going to be warmer than the water in the main channel of the river. So what happens, we absolutely love it, when that river catches a hard fall. The fish will pull out towards the main channel, but they're going to pull out right to those mouths where that cleaner water is coming out of these back creeks, and especially coming out of these woods, where that cleaner water hits that muddy water in the main channel. It creates these mud lines in the current seams that have warmer water on the clear side than the colder water on the muddy side. That sets up some excellent fishing situations right there. There's a lot of fish that get caught in our area right in those mud lines where that water's coming out of the woods or coming out those bayous.
Yeah, it sets up a unique situation, especially an ambush point for, several predators and even bait fish when they can hide in murky water and see fish in clear water. They have a distinct advantage. So you end up with some really crazy stuff. Sunday is my fishing day this week. I am going to Alabama. If all things go well, I'm coming back with a little bit of skipjack. I'm going down to Alabama to visit my daughter. And while we're down there, we're going to try to sneak over to Wheeler Dam and catch some skipjack if they're biting. If we hear they're biting somewhere else, we're going to go there. But we're going to try to grab some skipjack and bring home. Pontoon Jody asks, is it time for donkey baits? Well, according to James, your water temperature is 54 degrees. And for me,
Not quite.
That's good enough. 54 degrees, I'd start throwing a lot bigger baits. Maybe not donkey baits. 60 degrees is, in my opinion, donkey bait.
Right. You can definitely upsize, and water temperature itself does not rule everything. Guys that have been in this a long time will also tell you that, the catfish go by hours of available daylight. So it depends on what region of the country you're in that the water temperatures tend to start triggering things on and off. Way down here, if 50 degrees was my rule, the fish would be waking up in late January. For me, it's a little closer to 60 degrees. If you're way, way further north, maybe upper 40s might be kind of when they wake up a little bit. So it depends on a little where you are.
Yeah.
Water temperature is part of the story. Not the whole story, but it's a big part of it.
Oh, wow. Check this out. And Mike Greenwell reminds us that elephants eat peanuts. He says the big fish he caught Saturday came on a double shad head. Both heads were only about the size of a dime. So
there you go.
With some real small bait. And I've seen that happen more than once. I happened to be with Skip that day we were live, and he catches a 65-pounder on a piece of shad that had been out for like half an hour. We should have swapped it out, but we had no luck. We had zero activity. You just kind of get complacent, and the water was cold. He threw a piece of shad back out that was like the size of a quarter and catches a 65-pounder on it. So you're going to have, there's no absolutes in fishing at all. Just like Stan 3 said earlier, I wish it was 1 plus 1 equals 2, but it's like 3 plus pi equals 4 and plus X, or something, there's so many variables in there that and there's no way to get an absolute.
No. 1 plus 1 doesn't equal 2 in your own waters from week to week, much less, let's say, from me to Roger or from me to Stan. You can take a little from everybody, learn from it, pick up a few things, but your own waters are going to be a little different than everybody else. It shouldn't be a surprise to anybody by now, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of different things going on. I like. Go ahead, buddy.
No, I'm good. In fact, in about 2 minutes, Roger, I'll be passing through my little dead spot. If I lose you, I'll jump back in when I'm on the other side of it.
Okay. All right, buddy. So for me, I like shallow water fishing. Zach and I have gotten ourselves into some real shallow water. There's a few areas that stick out in my mind. One of them is fishing the James. They have these, I can't remember what they call them, the big pools. They're like ponds. Stan 3, if you can help me try to remember what you guys call them over there. There's just big shallow areas. It's just, just a shallow area surrounded by trees, surrounded by, a hump. And fish get in there when it starts warming up like this. Barge pits. There you go. Thank you, Austin. These barge pits, and they're shallow flats. And we got into there, and we would mark a ton of fish, and we would set our planer boards out, and we would start dragging in 5-6 foot of water. Well, sometimes we get hit. I guess it depends on how active the fish are. But talking to a couple highly successful tournament anglers at Catfish Conference, we were told that, keep this in mind. First of all, there's no such thing as too shallow a water. And I know that from experience fishing with guys like Chris Souders and others that have said that they've caught fish when they seen their back out of the water. And we've seen fish in super duper shallow water. The thing is once you get that shallow, everything you do is alarming. So you can't run your big motor. And, for us, we like to, if we go less than 8-10 foot of water, and that's an area we're planning on dragging, we're on the trolling motor. Big motor's out. If we get super shallow and we think we're going to fish it, cut the trolling motor out altogether and set up on an anchor. Do not spot lock, and don't try to spot lock in 5-6 foot of water or even less. There's lots of guys that will just beach a boat because at that point you're not creating any disturbance. You're quiet. So going stealth basically and trying to become invisible as if you're hunting these fish. For those of us that hunt, kind of understand that to be unnoticed and to undisturb the area is the advantage. And at that point, you fan cast your baits and set up and wait. A lot of guys will even free line at that point and not even use sinkers to create splash. There's no, if you're back in an area like that, there's no current anyway. So free lining baits, setting up in super shallow water, and waiting for the activity to come to you because they will. I think many times, I know us, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I know many times we have spotted fish in shallow water and then try to drag and grab them, and it just didn't work. I did it just this last November, went down to Wheeler fishing with Doc Lang and advice everyone saying, hey, the fish are super shallow. We went in after them. I marked fish in 3 foot of water, set out the planer board, started pulling, towards 5-6 foot of water. Couldn't catch fish. Thinking about it now, I was like, yeah, that kind of made sense. We should have just dropped an anchor and sat there and fan casted and been real stealthy and quiet instead of running my trolling motor 6 inches off the bottom and stirring everything up. So, there you go. 922 says you could also drift with the wind. At that point, even in 3 foot of water, 2 foot of water, there goes Jeremy. So we knew that was going to happen. In 2 and 3 foot of water, your boat's still going to spook those fish. If it's moving over, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Most of this is just my opinion. Some of it's stuff I repeat, but always remember that, the things you hear here are generally our experiences, things that we've seen and learned over the years, and things I've picked up through, watching others and talking to other anglers that I feel are much more knowledgeable or more successful than I am, and I pass that along. But being in super shallow water, man, I'm looking forward to it. You got a lot of people that are doing different things as far as like, hey, there's Skip, Clear River Outdoors. What's up, buddy? What the heck are they called? The poles that everybody's using on the back of their boats. Power poles. There we go. A lot of people, got the power poles out. A lot of us, we ain't got that kind of money. So they do have a lot of other options out there that, attach to the side of your boat, and you could buy these fiberglass rods and things on Amazon even. And it's a power anchor pole that you just push down. You put one on the back corner of your boat and one on the opposite front corner of the boat to prevent you from twisting and turning, keep you situated. You just go in real quiet, set yourself up, and have a ball when you're in that shallow water. Switching from the boat to the kayak in shallow water can be a game changer. When you're talking about being stealthy and being quiet and that type of approach, yes, absolutely, a kayak will definitely set you up for success much quicker than coming in with a big boat. current is pretty slow right now. John Boy, hopefully I could do some dragging. Yeah, and so that's one of the things we've trying to get to earlier was, as these water temperatures move up and these fish become more active, your abilities to do different techniques is there. So most of us love bumping. Zach and I, we absolutely love to bump. Got Jackie addicted to bumping. She's learned how to bump in like 10 minutes, and now that is her favorite way to catch a fish. And I see a lot of people in chat here that really love to bump. But even if you don't like, bumping ain't your thing, suspend drifting, covering water, or if you're in areas that are slow enough, you can start dragging for, active fish. And you can start dragging at, much faster speeds as the water temperature goes up. Now, I don't know where I picked this up, but I've always used it as kind of a gauge. But Skipjack City, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. For me, dragging, I've kind of always based my speed on the temperature. For instance, if it's 50 degrees, I'm 0.5. If it's 40 degrees, 0.4, 30 degrees, 0.3, 70 degree water, 0.7, and so on. It's kind of a rough draft, kind of where I start there, and you kind of go plus or minus depending on what the fish are doing. One of the techniques I really like to use is do some zigzagging with my boat when I'm pulling planer boards, because when you cut one way, your boards on the outside sweep really fast and they go faster, while your boards on the inside actually go much slower. So if you swing this way and then swing this way a few times, if you happen to get hit on the outside each time or the inside each time, it'll kind of tell you the fish are wanting faster baits or slower baits, and you can adjust your speed. Or you could just, take off dragging at whatever speed you feel like, starting out 0.5, whatever that speed is for you. But for me personally, I like to drag as fast as I possibly can, as fast as I can still catch a fish, as fast as I want to go. If I could go 1 mile an hour and catch fish, I would go 1 mile an hour, because I want to put my bait in front of as many fish as humanly possible, because only a percentage of the fish are going to bite anyway. And so if I increase the number of fish that I present my bait to, theoretically, the law of averages will be in my favor, and it'll be greater odds of hooking up on a fish, contacting several more fish. See, if we put both our boats together, we'd have an 18-footer. I'm missing some of what's going on over here. Find the little creek channel in that shallow water or just a ditch. Yeah. Sometimes, if you're in super shallow water, and so one of the things, we talked about CatCon with these guys angling is, people always asking me, where did you guys catch those fish at? Where did you guys catch those fish at? And he's like, we was in the deepest water we could find. Yeah, deepest water they could find, and the area they were, but the area they were in was 5 feet. And there happened to be an area that was 7 feet. And so the fish were in the 7-foot water in that super shallow water. So, finding those little channels and deeper spots in these shallow areas can sometimes be magical. So, when you're setting up and coming in stealth-like or trying to be ghostly, keeping an eye on these, certain areas, especially if you're in an area that's mapped out well. And if you've got Navionics that is able to tell you, really well where the channel is, or a deep hole is, or a pocket is, you're definitely going to want to check that out. But sometimes it doesn't matter. There's an area of our river here that is a big, huge sand flat. It's just all sand. And the way the water rolls over it, it makes a hump and a drop, and it can make a hump and a drop and a hump and a drop. The whole thing looks like that all the way down when you check it on side scan. And there are times when we go through there and there are fish stacked up behind, every like third hump, there'll be a line of fish, or every, 2 or 3 humps, and there'll be a line of fish, and you'll start spotting all these fish, and these fish are all in 4 to 7 foot of water out in the river. But that big flat is all sand, and sand gathers heat quicker than mud and retains it. So they move into that shallow water that's warming up quicker than most of the water around them. And, they'll be up in there feeding. And because the bait knows that too, the bait's going to be there. It's going to be a highly active area. Even in the dead of winter, those areas could get super active on a good sunny day. Did we get you back, buddy?
Yep, got me back, brother.
Oh, looky there. We got him.
Yep. All the best fishing spots have zero phone signal. I've said it 100 times.
Uni fishing, maybe a new catfish word. You sneak up on the fish. Hey, there you go, JG. That might be it. Yeah, Jerry, and that's one of the reasons I absolutely love fishing in shallow water is when you catch a fish in shallow water, there's no down we can go. Oh, that's right. Zach caught a 54 there last Sunday. Roger asked him if he's coming home. I think he's on his way home, Dad.
Tell him I just passed by the mud hole, Dad. He knows where that's at.
Just past the mud hole. There you go. Yeah, the takedowns and the fight in shallow water can be outstanding. They can't go down and they can't go up, so they go left and right, and they will do it in a hurry. It could be really crazy, really fun fights when you're in that shallow water. And Zach reminds me that area I just described is where he caught a 54 there wasn't this Sunday, but the Sunday before last. And it was great fish. But Andrew D., welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Fish shallow water.
That right there is my brother. That's who was with me Sunday during our live show.
Oh, Andrew?
Yep. Yeah, that's him.
All right. Well, welcome in, brother. I was trying to think of some other things that kind of really that changed. So, so what generally happens is this time of year, spring, all right, we start getting a lot of thunderstorms, start getting a lot of rain, right? So that's an entire show by itself is high water, high water tactics and techniques. But, knowing that that's coming kind of helps you, prepare a mental game plan or start reading the river now while you're out. Because when the river's down, it does the exact same thing pretty much it does when the river's up. You could just see it a little bit differently. It's just going to be intensified much more when that water comes high. So if you've got an area that has a nice current break in it now, that current break's still going to be there when the water's up, depending on the bank, because the form of the bank could be completely different once you put 10 foot of water over it. So I don't know if that was a good example. Now I'm thinking about it.
Right. Well, yeah, it is a great example because what will happen, especially for us, when that current's really running fast, sometimes it'll show you maybe some little more subtle current seams and stuff that you didn't notice whenever the water was running slower.
Yeah, that's true. The only problem with that is like our water goes crazy high. So, our water will jump 20 to 25 feet. And so what was normally a rock point that sticks out that creates an eddy is now 15 feet underwater. And there's still something going on there. But now you have 15 feet of fast water over top of it. That's not going to allow it's not going to present itself in the same way.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. And we have to do the same thing. Ours doesn't go up and down nearly as fast as y'all's does, but we do see those extreme up and downs, and it totally changes. There's some structures that I fish that for part of the year, they're completely out of the water. But then when the water's high, that becomes a fishing spot for me.
Yeah. Yep, and that's same here. We've got some spots that we got areas that are really good when the water's super high. Like you guys seen us a while back in a video. We know that once our water gets rolling so high, they have to shut down the hydros, right? So we have no water coming through the hydros. All the water's coming through the dam. So where did we go fish? We went to the dam, and the people are like, "You're nuts." No, what it was is the hydro is not going to run because there's so much water going I don't know if it's for debris purposes. I'm not 100% sure on the reason why. Zach probably does know why. But we know that the hydro does stop running, and that area becomes calm water right next to violently fast water. And guess where the fish are? The fish
That's a
load
good,
up.
yeah, that's a good area right there, right just out of that fast current scene. Oh yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah.
spot.
Yeah. So, we know that, there's areas that are really good and provides opportunities to us when the water's super high, and we know where to go when the water gets super low. And so, and that's just from time on the water, years of data, years of, trial and error, days when, days when everything went right. You think about what was right. We try to look at the conditions, the barometer, the time of day. We try to look at all that stuff when we had a really good day, just as hard as you do when you have a really bad day. Because when you have a really bad day, we look really hard, right? We want to blame everything. The pressure was wrong. There was a front coming in. The temperature was low. There was a banana on the boat. I mean, we'll blame anything. The moon was full. We'll look for any excuse when it's bad, but we got to make sure as anglers we take that much effort into when you have a good trip or a good day, because that information is just as valuable as the bad days. And so, we've got a pretty extensive knowledge, at least in our area, and which is why it's going to be so challenging for us to travel to a new area and learn to fish, is because we don't know nothing about it. We're pretty comfortable in our area. We know a lot about the conditions, and it doesn't matter how much you fish it. You're never going to know it all. If you think you do, you're just fooling yourself. But we're pretty comfortable in our area, so we're getting out of our comfort zone and going to start traveling to areas we don't know and try to fish against people that we don't know and see how we do.
I know for us this time of year, and I know this it's the same for a lot of people, especially anytime you fish in a river, it's got a lot of current in it, and especially a big river like we're on, the one controlling factor I find that changes our fish's behavior more than anything else is the actual condition of the water clarity, how much trash is in it, and current speed. And really in that order, in fact, in that order of importance, that's what controls what our fish are going to do much more than phase of the moon, barometer, things like that. That water is going to dictate where those fish are staged up, how they're going to be, how active they're going to be. And when we pulled up to our dam, yeah, there's shad everywhere. But when I saw all the trash in the water, I knew immediately. I said, there's not going to be any fish in here. And sure enough, we scanned it. I marked 2 catfish in that entire dam area. But I just had to make me a bump and run just to say I did. It was bugging me. I had that brand new, nice, shiny, pretty black horse rod that I just had to take for a test drive. It was bugging me.
I get you. I got it, buddy. So Dustin Clarks asks, would you fish above a dam or below a dam right now? Well, Dustin, it kind of really depends on where you are in the country, what waters you're fishing. First thing comes off my lips is below the dam, as fish are going to try to start working their way to the dams for their natural routines as spawning and mating and all that stuff, foraging. In general, most of the time in cold, deep water, your deepest water is down at the above a dam, and that's where a lot of people like to go and hang out in the cold winter months. And fish kind of congregate in there as well, although not all dams are that way. But below the dam is going to be picking up really fast with these warmer temperatures.
Yeah, 100%. And then really, in our area, we don't fish above the dams for basically the simple reason we're not allowed to. We're not allowed to get anywhere near the upstream side of our dams, and it's a safety thing. People have lost their lives like that, and the Corps put a stop to that a long time ago.
Your brother asks if anyone has used the software that auto tracks all weather at the time of each catch. I'm not even familiar with what that software is. Who's
Heck,
from?
I don't know what he's talking about either. I got to ask him, I guess.
He said he
I
didn't
don't
even
know.
get out of the, he didn't even get out of the chair when you went to bump.
Well, because he knew he wasn't going to catch a fish. I mean, I said in the beginning, I said, I know I ain't going to catch nothing, but I can't help it. I can't help but make a pass.
Hey, what's going on, Harley Neal? Harley Neal's in the house as well. Hey, look at there. My sister just popped in. Garden Princess. What's going on, Miranda? I got almost the whole family here. So that's every night though. We got brothers and sisters and uncles and cousins, and we're all just one big dysfunctional family at sometimes. But
I know, right?
but just like family, when the time gets tough and things hit the fan, people step up. So, and we see that happen all the time in our community. But let's see, I just missed another one. And he was trying to explain it to me here. I'm trying to see if I missed another part.
And now that I think about it, it seems like I saw a commercial somewhere, some way. It was something with bass fishing that they were hitting a button. It's basically like a data logging kind of thing.
Yep.
I just don't remember what technology was involved. Like maybe some kind of app or something like that. I'm not sure. It's starting to sound familiar.
That's exactly what he said. He said you push a button on your reel when you catch a fish, and it tracks it. So basically, I'm going to assume this basically takes a timestamp of,
Gotcha.
what all conditions and scenarios were going on. I'm sure you have to set that up for whatever, but it is a cool idea if it gets out there. Kelly Bullock says, "I just sold a reel that did that." Kelly, what? How did it even puts a GPS ping on it too. Man, we could start how people can like get close enough to you, or like scan your wallet or whatever to get your card numbers and whatnot. People will be going by your boat and scanning
fishing spots. Oh man. I can tell you now, we currently do not offer that in the Ancient Mariner lineup. I can tell you that with pretty good confidence.
Harley Neal is wondering if Jeremy is broadcasting nude. He's all blacked out on the screen.
No. I'm on the road. I'm on the road driving.
Kelly says, "Man, we're not spending enough time at Walmart." Kelly Bullock says it was a 7000 series spinning reel from Walmart that has Bluetooth.
What?
Yep.
There's got to be a punchline to that somewhere.
If so, I don't know where it is, but it's possible.
Huh. Well, now.
So, let's see what I was trying to do here. I'm really looking forward.
I have to be perfectly honest, and everybody can either agree or disagree with me on this. The what I call the spring transition, whenever we're going from winter to springtime fishing, I'm probably no more excited to fish that time than any other time, just because the weather's kind of coming around, the river's coming up, everything is getting together. But to be honest, that up until recently, that's been a time of year that I've struggled year in, year out. Up until recently, we're finally, learning from other people and kind of getting a few things figured out. But that's always been a tough time for us to consistently get on fish. Is this spring transition? I don't know. It always fought me there for a few years.
Yeah. Yeah, for us, it just looking back at Zach generally keeps track of, can we take pictures? So one of the things we do, we pretty much take a picture of every fish. And it's not, well, we are proud of every fish, but it's not so much, it's not so much having the photo to show off, a fish, but it does gives us data. It gives us a time, it gives us a date, Most of the time we could tell by the background where we were, what, time of year, conditions. If you can look at the water and see, muddy, fast, high, low, you kind of tell what's going on by our pictures. I seen somebody earlier talk about writing down all this information as in a log, which would be fantastic. I'm just too lazy to do it. Right. By the time I get off the water, I'm not going to sit down and log all this stuff. I'm just not. I know myself. But these pictures do tell us a lot of stuff. And so a lot of times Zach will sit down at the end of the year and he'll kind of tally up and give us an outlook of how we did through the year. And, February is a very slow month, but it picks up quick. I believe in March, April. I can't remember what the highest months are. It's actually surprising. I just can't remember it off the top of my head to say it right here. So I don't want to make false statements, but
yeah.
Aaron says 342 catfish off of this dock in 81 days last year.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. Love may produce some of my biggest fish of the year. Love may produce the biggest fish of your year. Jerry Parker. Huh. Kelly Bullock says he sold that reel at CatCon at the swap shop.
Well, I'll be dang.
Yeah. No, for us, being able to start doing more things, bumping is obviously huge. Suspend drifting. Suspend drifting is effective, but if I had to choose, I would take dragging over drifting. I like knowing that my bait's down on the bottom. And I got to be honest, dragging with the weights we've been dragging with for the last couple of years, we are dragging through stuff. I don't know, I say this all the time, but we're dragging through stuff we never thought we could drag through before. So we've been catching fish we thought were not catchable, at least in the standard, fashion. By the way, we were dragging. We would set up and cast baits back to them if we could, or we would drag to the outside edge. Like if we had a line of trash and trees and stuff on the bottom, we would get to the outside edge of it and drag next to it and see if we can't pull a fish out. Not anymore. We just throw right in it and drag right over everything, and it's been pretty amazing.
It's nice. It's nice to be able to do that because bumping did that for us. It allowed us to fish an area that previously we really couldn't fish effectively because what the bottom looked like. There was no real good way to fish it until we learned how to bump. It changed a lot of things when you can go fish where you want to without any limitations.
There you go. Yeah, it changes a lot of things, your abilities. And that's, Jeremy and I did a show a while back where we talked about, being comfortable with all these different techniques, because, some days you're going to need a plan B and a plan C and a plan D and, whatever. When, anchor's not working, dragging, bumping, some days you might have to go through everything before you figure out what's going to be the best, most effective way. And, for most of us that, we're pleasure fishing, but when you start looking at, like a tournament side of things, we got this online tournament thing coming up where people are going to be doing things a little bit differently, and they're going to want to know and figure out fish more quickly. And, Roger, just so you know, my new PB came on a swing rod, drifted onto a ledge near the bank.
There you go. There you go, baby.
Perfect, man. Swing rod. Yeah. And, that's a fantastic technique. And, we've shared with folks that, that is a really good technique from the bank. A lot of people want to throw heavy, huge weight out there. And Danny was one we were talking to about it. People want to throw a ton of lead out there and make it stick. No, I would throw a weight out there that would keep it on the bottom, but I would like to see if you can cast out past the ledge and let it swing back up against that channel ledge. As we talked many times, your ledges are going to be, most of your travel corridors. And if you got bait right sitting on the road, there's a good chance somebody stops and picks it up.
Yeah, I will say with a lot of confidence that way over 50% of our big fish in the past few years has been caught on a swing rod of some kind. I can promise you that.
Yep. Just sent you the photo, Roger. I seen that. I heard it ding in. Well, I'll take a look at that. Let's go ahead and Kelly's in here now. We're going to go ahead and check out. We're going to do two things real quick. We're running out of time. So let's do this. We're talking about Dirty South Dragon weights. Let's go ahead and get some going in chat. We'll go ahead and give a 5-pack away from our friends over at Dirty South Dragon weights. And while you guys are typing away at that, let's tune in and check out this week's Spotlight brought to you by the Bullock Experience. So get your entries in for Dirty South Dragon weights. We'll come back and give it away right after this clip. That was super cool, man. Our brother Richard and Stephanie over at Fishing and Freedom. Did we lose you? We may have lost.
I'm here, buddy. I'm here.
Oh, I got you. Hey, so well done. Thank you again, Kelly, for that. Again, if you guys want to be featured on one of these spotlights, just send Kelly Bullock some photos. If you're not sure how to get a hold of him, get a hold of me or Jeremy, and we'll put you in the right direction. But that was a great video, and you could tell. I'm pretty sure Richard set the pictures in because most of them were Stephanie.
Smart man. He's got it figured out. Smart man.
That's right. Well, because when we take our significant others out, whoever you are, where you're from, 9 times out of 10, you're happier putting them on fish, and we've talked about that. But you could tell that's what happens over there in that scenario. Is he's happy to see her catch some fish, and he's super proud of her. So way to go, guys. If you guys haven't got in, you see it right there on your screen. You got Dirty South Dragon weights. Pick you up some as the waters are warming up and it's getting time to start dragging. You like to have a set of these to try out. It's what we found confidence in and what I've been using. It's worked best for me. Not to put any others' products down. There are lots of people out there that make dragon weights of different shape sizes and applications, and some may work for you better than others. But for me, this right here is what I prefer to use. They have really changed the way I fish, and Zach too. I'll be honest with you, it changed the way we fish. So you guys give it about 5 seconds. We'll let her go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good luck, y'all. We'll send it around the world. Maybe not around the world. Glenn's Catfishing. There you go. Glenn's Catfishing. Congratulations. If I've got you on Facebook, hit me up there. If I don't have you on Facebook, you can email me at rdementjr@yahoo.com, scrolling across the bottom of your screen. And congratulations to you, man. I've been wanting to try those. Curtis Cunningham. Well, Curtis, get a hold of those guys. You can go on Dirty South Dragon Weights. Just, I think, let me see where I have there. Well, I don't want to, I'll run it for a second, but there you go. It's Dirty South Dragon Weights. .com. So it's super easy to find Dirty South Dragon Weights on Google and get you in on that. For Glenn, if you email me, we'll get you taken care of, or send me a quick message.
Heck yeah.
And if you want to, there we go. We're just going to do a whole little infomercial here. We can head on over to River Cats Tackle. Use code Creole10 to save yourself 10% off over there with River Cats Tackle. Baby. Those guys are using all kinds of, those guys are selling all kinds of gear, rods, reels, terminal tackle. I can't even keep up with everything that these guys are doing right now. I know we picked up.
And there's much, much more coming down the line. We are in the middle of, I'm trying to think of how I can say this without giving too much away, but we are right in the middle of bringing some more products to the market. Very, very soon. Y'all keep y'all eyes open. Y'all are not going to want to miss this when we introduce them.
There you go. If that doesn't get the hair raising on your arms. Here's another great company to support. Always in here supporting us, has donated several giveaways for lots of different events of ours here on the channel. No affiliation link, but just a good friend. I'd love to support local guys, especially good guys like this. Kevin over at Monster Cat Catfishing. Be sure to check him out as well. And you can always head over to Sludger Cat Outdoors. This is Mr. Chris Souders. He's in the business now. He's got some cool apparel and got even newer stuff coming out. He's been working on this last week. We've been kind of getting the inside scoop on what that's starting to look like. Some really good looking gear coming out, and obviously pre-tied rigs. The stuff that he's been using for years. You're looking at Boss Cat. Basically Piachi hooks, crimped rigs. Heavy duty gear that he's been using. You head over there to Sludger Cat Outdoors. You can use code Muskrat10. Save yourself 10% off over there.
In fact, Chris even sells the actual stuff to make the crimped rigs, like the crimps and everything themselves, right?
That's it. Yep.
I need to get me some. I'm running low. See, there you go.
Yep. You can head over there and buy your crimps right from him. Again, you're getting the right size that you need, and
perfect.
And be all set up. Or I'll tell you what, those prices ain't bad. If you can just go through there and pick out the rigs you want, have them sent and shipped to your house. His shipping is really fast, and you got a fishing trip planned up, and you ain't got time to go get you can usually get the stuff from him faster than you can get the everything to crimp, everything, the hooks and the leader line. You can usually get it from him and already done to your house quicker than you can if you go try to piece it out yourself and then tie it yourself. So there's that. So
that concludes the QVC part of the show.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the lights on.
That's right, baby. Hey, that's right.
That's it. So guys, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. See, is that 3 nights showed up? Is that Don Knight? Welcome in, buddy. If I missed you. See, Cutting Up with Creek says we hitting a growth spurt.
That is an understatement right there. This is going to be like some Jack and the Beanstalk looking stuff. You wait and see.
I've got to talk to the folks for a little bit and kind of get an idea of some things that are up and coming, but I'm sure you guys got a lot more up your sleeve than what I know about. But
yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right, Don, man, I appreciate you stopping in. We're getting ready to head on out of here. We appreciate you guys so much coming in and spending your Tuesday night with us, and we'll get things set up again for next Tuesday night. And Jeremy, you got anything for everybody?
Hey, appreciate everybody. I really appreciate everybody that stopped in the live Sunday to come watch me hang out, fish, me and my brother. I know it's been a while. I promise I will do more of it for y'all. It's been way too long, but until then, bon pêcher, everybody.
All right. We'll catch you guys here next Tuesday night. Same cat time, same cat channel. Good night. Good night, everybody. I went to hit the peace sign and gave him 3 fingers.
Oh.